Hello there everybody! It is I, Tony, aka TT Burger 8, and welcome back to another video here. This video is going to be something totally different from the other videos that I make. And this video was requested for me to make by my buddy ScootZMedia, the guy who requested me to do that video on Alex Jones's fluoride toothpaste saying it's killing people, with giving people cancer and stuff like that, which I don't remember the title of it, and nor do I care to remember at the moment, but for this video I'm going to be, like I said, this video is going to be called Games That Should Have Been Released on a Sony Console, and I have 10 games here that I listed here. I only wanted to do at least 10 of them, so I didn't want to bore you guys by putting like 20 of them or 50 of them and stuff. But now we got that out of the way, let's get started here with number 1, Saints Row. Now I first got Saints Row around the time it first came out, around my birthday, and I only had a 360 at the time because the PS3 wasn't out yet. I didn't get a PS3 till like a year later. I wanted to wait for the price to drop down and to be sure that all the bugs were worked out of it and stuff. Well, if there were any bugs in it. But Saints Row was basically the 360's answer to Grand Theft Auto 4 while Grand Theft Auto 4 was still being made. And Saints Row was basically just, you were drafted into the 3rd Street Saints, you played as a created character you created who didn't talk or anything like that, and you pretty much just started as like a mute and worked your way up into the gangs and did the deeds for each to destroy each gang and stuff, and it was mindless fun. And then like when the new year came by in 2007, we were heard the announcement that THQ was going to release Saints Row for the PS3, and me not having a PS3 at the time, it didn't really bother me that much because like I only had the 360, now it's basically it. But then it was canceled because of many reasons I heard. THQ said there were framing issues, or it's because Saints Row 2 was coming out, and it was going to be multi-platform, and they were going to release, to fix all the bugs and just make it bigger and stuff. And sure, Saints Row 2 is better. Don't get me wrong, Saints Row 2 is better than Saints Row 1 because Saints Row 1 felt a little light on content times because like it was a short game. But still, those of you who don't own a 360 and got Saints Row 2 on the PS3 will feel like you're missing a part of the story. And even PC owners cannot get the game either because the game is a 360 exclusive. And it would be nice if they actually released the first Saints Row on the PS4 like an HD remaster like how they did with Dead Rising, but unfortunately we probably will never see the first Saints Row ever on a Sony console or a PC except for the 360. And while I'm here right now looking back at it, it's not as good as Saints Row 2, but still, it would be nice for PS3 owners to just see how it all began, like how your character like started out in the 3rd Street Saints and then worked his way up and became the leader and stuff of the Saints. And of course, like you may have Saints Row the 3rd and the 4 and stuff like that, which has Saints Row 4 does have a little bit tidbits about what happens in Saints Row 1, but those two I don't count as real sales screens, they both suck, but that's off topic. Number 2, Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur was not the first game in the Soul series as a lot of people may think it is. The first game was actually Soul Edge, aka Soul Blade, when it was dubbed in North America and stuff. And Soul Edge I first played that game in the arcades when I was on vacation with my family in downtown Illinois somewhere, and there was a small arcade that had Soul Edge, and the first character I ever played as was Sungmina because like I like playing that, I just wanted to pick a female character, and then I played Voldo. And I did not know anything about Soul Calibur until an arcade near me had Soul Calibur, and I realized that this was based on the same series, and I kept wondering myself, when is this game gonna be on the PlayStation? Because Soul Edge was already on the PlayStation, and it was awesome. It was probably one of the best fighting games I ever played, let alone my favorite video games of all time. And then I found out Soul Calibur was only gonna be on the Sega Dreamcast. And don't get it wrong, I'm not bashing the Dreamcast here because I never played the Dreamcast. But I did play it at my cousin's house, and Soul Calibur 1 was fun. But just, why wouldn't Namco put this game on the PlayStation as well? It would have done perfectly fine on the PlayStation. And sure, the graphics would not have been that great, but just it would have been nice because like the game is awesome and stuff. But yeah, like the only way you can play this game is if you buy a Dreamcast or if you can download it on the Xbox 360, which is also at least one thing scratching my head. Why was this game not on the PS3? They could have ported it to the PS3 easily, but I guess Microsoft made a deal with Namco to like only put it out on the 360. And yet, it is a fun game. Looking back at it, but nowadays it's nothing special. It's nothing special because like as it was back then, all the hype has pretty much died down. But back then, this game, it would have been awesome to play this game on the PlayStation, but unfortunately, we will never get to unless you have a Dreamcast or a 360 and stuff, which I don't have either, so I'll just stick with Soul Blade, Soul Calibur 2, and Soul Calibur 3 then to fill the taste. Number 3, Ace Combat 6 Skies of Deception. This one definitely needed to be on the list because this one made me really mad. When I found out this game was only going to be on the Xbox 360, I was left scratching my head wondering, Namco, you put every Ace Combat game on a Sony console, then all of a sudden you just decide to like switch gears and just go to Microsoft. And I know they did the same thing with Ridge Racer 6, and just so you know, that game is not on this list because that game, a year later when the PS3 came out, we got a better game, Ridge Racer 7, which pretty much didn't really made Ridge Racer 6 obsolete. But Ace Combat 6, those Skies of Deception, why would they do that? I mean, and you may think, oh, the PS3 wasn't out at the time when this game was released. No, the PS3 was going into its 1-year anniversary when this game was out, when this game was released and announced. They could have put it on the PS3, but for some reason they just didn't. And you might be thinking, why are you complaining about this, Tony? You said in your Ace Combat Zero, the Balkan War review, that you didn't like the game. The truth is, I did not like it because it did feel like a soap opera and stuff like that, instead of a flight combat game and stuff. And of course, the lip syncing matched to the Japanese, which is kind of a nitpick, I know. But still, it would have been nice to like for people to at least try Ace Combat 6 and get it on the PS3. Even though it wasn't that great of a game, there are people I know who probably would have liked it. But then again, But then again, that's just me. So. But I guess I could just, at least we got the other Ace Combat games stuff before Ace Combat 6 and stuff like that to hold our fix. Number 4, Crazy Taxi 2. Now I should mention that I said that Crazy Taxi 2 was not as good compared to the first game. Well, I gotta admit I was a little bit biased there because the only version of Crazy Taxi 2 I played was the PSP version on Crazy Taxi Fair Wars. So yeah, I was a little biased there. But because that's not even that the real Crazy Taxi 2, because the frame rate is slower and that and stuff like that. But Crazy Taxi was released on the PlayStation like a year after the Dreamcast version, when Acclaim got the rights to put some of the Dreamcast games on like the PS2 and other consoles and stuff. And they could have done the same thing with Crazy Taxi 2, and because a lot of people didn't own a Dreamcast, because the Dreamcast was. Because a lot of people that didn't own a Dreamcast, that's why I know, a lot of people I know owned PlayStation 2 and stuff like that, because PlayStation 2 was considered better because you could play DVDs and stuff and do other things, and Dreamcast was dying slowly. But I guess nobody knew that to be happening, but I guess Crazy Taxi 2 will be another one of those games where we will not see on another console, and I'm not counting the PSP version, because the PSP version is shit. So, yeah. Number 5, Call of Duty 2. Yes, I know, we're going Call of Duty now, and Call of Duty 2, I know that this game was released before the PS3 or PS3 or so came out, but unfortunately, they released Call of Duty Classics, the first Call of Duty game on the PS1, on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and I kind of wondered, they probably could do the same thing for PS3 or PS4 or Xbox Oneers or something like that, and yet. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. I mean, I like it, but it's not as good as Call of Duty 3 in my opinion. But it would have been nice since they put the first Call of Duty game on the PS3 and 360 and stuff as like a downloadable game. They could have done the same thing for this on the PS3. But I guess since Call of Duty 2 was already on the 360 PC, I guess there was no need for that. Number 6. The Dead or Alive games that were on the Xbox and Xbox 360, like Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, Dead or Alive 4, and Dead or Alive Extreme 2. I'm not counting Dead or Alive Ultimate because those are basically just remakes of the first 2 Dead or Alive games, and we already got those on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. And Dead or Alive, the Xbox Dead or Alive games is when I first got into Dead or Alive, because I first got Dead or Alive Ultimate, and then I got Dead or Alive 3 and Extreme Beach Volleyball and then 4 and Extreme 2. And they're fun games, don't get me wrong, they're fun games, but the thing is that people seem to think that Dead or Alive was always an Xbox box only exclusive, when the answer is no. They started out in the arcades, and then we're on like the Sega Saturn for Dead or Alive 1, and then Dead or Alive 1 was on the Sega Saturn first, and then on the PS1, and then Dead or Alive 2 was on the Dreamcast, and then we had Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore on the PlayStation 2, so I don't know why Tecmo decided to just like, I'm guessing Tecmo just like made a deal with Microsoft because I guess they needed a fighting game for launch date. So I guess Dead or Alive 3 is what they got, and like I guess that's what it was like when they got when they only got the rights to the Dead or Alive series. And sure, looking back at those games, they're nothing special now, but those of you who get Dead or Alive 5 and are only like a PS3 owner or something like that, or PS4, you're gonna be missing a lot of the story, like what happened with the Tri-Tower at Dead or Alive 4, and what happened with Helena when she won the Dead or Alive Live 4 tournament because she was the main protagonist of that game. And you're not gonna know what happened with Ayane, who won the Dead or Alive 3 tournament, so she was the main character of Dead or Alive 3 because she was the one who won the tournament. And the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball one, sure, they're pretty much just like porn for teenagers and stuff, but you get Dead or Alive, when they released Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Fortune, which was actually a much better game out of the first two. And so yeah, just I feel like Dead or Alive 3 and 4 could have had some love from Sony as well. They could, like, Tecmo should have had Sony have put it on his console as well, but that's just me though. Number 7, Quake 4. Yes, I know, we're going Quake 4, and I don't like this game because, well, the 360 version makes that I don't like that version because the 360 version is frame rate issues like crazy. It's all the frame rate is what kills the game, is what kills that version because it's always stuttery and stuff like that. But I'm sure if it was on the I'm sure, like, since they re-released Doom 3, the BFG edition, they released that one on the PS3 and 360 and PC and stuff. They could have done the same thing for multi-platform like the PS3 and PS4. Like, maybe they could have fixed the problems and would have been ported there because, like, Quake 2 was on the PC and PS1, and Quake 3 Arena, we saw a console version of that on the PS2. So why was this game only exclusive to the 360? The question is, I don't know. Number 8, The Movies by the now defunct Lionhead Studios. Now, The Movies is a PC exclusive game where you create your own movies and build your own movie studio, and it's a fun thing. It was going to be released on the consoles for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube, but it was canceled because it wasn't selling really well, and we were left with the PC version. The PC version was buggy, and I mainly wanted the console version, the console version because I was sick of the game freezing on me and just like having glitches and stuff and it took up a lot of room on your computer as a system hard. But yeah, and I'm not saying this should have been only on Sony. It should have been on the Xbox owners, GameCube owners, and PS4 should have gotten this game because it would have been much easier to use. It would have been more fun because it would have been much easier to handle, and they wouldn't have had all those freezing and stuff on the shore. Number 9. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, a game that was first released on the Nintendo GameCube in late 2002 around the holiday season, and then ported to the Xbox a year later. We got Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Unleashed on the Godzilla Save the Earth was on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and we got Godzilla Unleashed on the PS2 and the Nintendo Wii. So why couldn't we get this game on the PS2? I mean, it was already on the GameCube and the Xbox, so why couldn't they port this one to the PS2? I don't know. And finally, number 10, Myst 4 Revelation. Now, Myst games pretty much have always started out on the PC, and then they would port them to consoles. Like Myst was ported on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. Riven was ported to the PlayStation, and we had Myst 3 Exile that was ported to the PS2 and Xbox. And then we made Myst 4 Revelation here was only ported to the Xbox for some reason, and I don't know why. And of course, I don't know if it was because the PS2 version of Myst 3 Revelations was kind of buggy because it was kind of a poor version because it was very slow and a little blurry and stuff. But the Xbox kind of like had some of the PS2 Myst 3 PS2 version problems on the Xbox version, the Myst 4 Xbox version here. And since I never really played my Xbox much because my brother played it more, he like Halo and stuff like that, it would be kind of a pain in the neck to like go and play those games, then rip the console out, play it, plug it in, play it, and then plug it back in, then put it away and stuff. And I really found that kind of a pain in the neck, and it would have been nice if Myst 4 got a PS2 release. I mean, Myst 5, End of Ages, which was a pile of crap, didn't get any console port at all, which I was kind of glad it did, but Myst 4 was a decent game, a pretty good game to be exact, and it could have saw a PS2 release. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for games that should have been on a Sony console. I'll probably make more of these in the future, and probably, if I can remember 10, if I can think of like 10 more games or stuff to make. But if not, then this will probably be it. And if you guys have any requests for me to talk about games that should have been on a Sony console, stuff like that, you let me know right in the comment section below. And before I end here, I will say that I know that I've been kind of like saying that, oh, this game should be on the PS3 and not the 360, that. And to all you Microsoft fanboys who think that I'm bashing your system and being a biased fanboy, the truth is I just like Sony more because it's what I grew up with, and I want you guys to, and I hope you guys would respect my opinions and I would respect yours. And that's pretty much it for this episode. There'll probably be more episodes of this in the future, but until then, peace out. Have a good day, everybody.